what I do is when I work with people, is like we memorize together like a list of 100 words, and this list is consists of concrete words like a tree, for example, but also more abstract words, which are harder or might seem harder to visualize as a single word. And while we are going through this list, it's a bit of a similar approach. The people tell me what they feel or what they see there. Many people start with, I try to create a concrete image out of every word, but sometimes it's just not really working here. And then it's this feeling for a word. This really helps. Like let's say some word like to lose, for example. There's a feeling about losing something, and this is not just a word. It's also it's something in my heart. So let's say there is something which what makes it so special. I have a feeling for that. And that's something what I experience in my native language way better than in a foreign language. For example, I would never really start memorizing in competitions English words. Of course, my English is okay and good, and I know a lot of vocabulary, but it's not the same when I read dog or when I read Hund. This is the German word for dog. For Hund, I don't know, there's a whole construct around that Hund, because I know that when I was a little boy already, I was afraid of dogs, but dog it's the same, but it's not. Does it make sense? So, there's a specific feeling, a whole construct around this specific word in my native language, but not in English. It's very interesting.
Well, yeah, and I think this is what's so great about teaching and sharing these experiences, because you say Toulouse, I think Toulouse-Lautrec, right? You might not know who the heck that dude is, and many people won't know who that dude is. But to me, that's like the most obvious association for Toulouse. Not that I have to.
I see.
But if I'm memorizing a poem and it's like, to lose your heart on the street or whatever, like Toulouse-Lautrec is probably going to be the best image for that, because he's in a movie. I think he's the guy in Moulin Rouge who, is presented in a very strange way. I don't know if he was really like that in history, but nonetheless, I've spent time with that dude, so the more that's the one thing I try to teach people to try to do is, rather than build lists of images, but always try to think, what is the image I can choose that I've spent the most time with? So if I was learning Hund, I would think perhaps Hound of the Baskervilles, which I can then connect to Sherlock Holmes, for example. Now it's a bit of a stretch, but nonetheless, it's connecting the fact that Hound probably comes from Hund in the Germanic lineage or whatever. But those kind of workarounds and so forth, the more that it's connected to something that's already in your memory, as opposed to an abstract association, I find that helps people a lot. It certainly helps me. It is just a practice, really.
Yeah. And just to add one more thing to that. So, for example, another word like suspicious, the word suspicious. And this is, if I have to memorize it in a specific location, it's like me being there, being suspicious about something. And this is like, if I would try to move or try to do it with my body language, I would go a bit down, squeeze my eyes a bit like this, and I'm suspicious right now. It's a feeling, and that's what I use here for memorizing abstract words, for example. Yeah.
So you get your body into it.
Yeah, I'm always there. When I do, especially in memory sports, when I memorize stuff, and I'm very often interacting a lot by myself with the story, with the location, with the objects which I'm memorizing there. I am there. I'm doing things. I'm experiencing things. I'm feeling things. I'm sad. I'm happy. I'm jumping. I don't know. I do these things, and very, very often. That helps a lot.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that is a shift that a lot of people need to make. There's a lot to being cerebral, and conceptual, but then taking it into a concrete, even just imagined concrete action, which is, is in all the books, but I think they need to do it, as if it's them, or you can adopt that personality. But you bring to mind Anastasia Woolmer, who's the Australian dancer who won a competition here, and she talks a lot about how she uses like dance moves and stuff like this, getting that sort of physicality into it, which is just a great thing if you can get yourself to do it. Just like you said, just slinking down to be in that state of suspicion. That's a choreography, so to speak.
It is. And when I come back to this location, I feel the same, and then I might recall that it's a choreography. That's it's a good description.
Good. Well, we've now solved all the problems for all the people.
Perfect.